Oh, hey, didn't see you guys there. Just marking some territory. I'll be done in a minute. Hey guys, just out for a beautiful September walk. The woods are... Okay, that's twice now. I've heard this strange call. I don't know. If I had to say an animal, I would say moose, but it's not a moose. Like, I'm gonna say an electronic moose, not an animal. And it is windy, so I can't really pinpoint. I think it was coming from that direction. Why can't we just get it when I'm standing here recording? Which I do all the time. I cut these parts out because all I'm doing is standing with the camera pointed at a tree listening. Gage and I walking the trail up to the fox den. I just want to check and see if the golf balls are actually in the fox den. They disappeared. We know who got them, and what she did with them, I don't know. So we're going to take the mile or so hike up here to the den and keep our eye on the trail, see if we can find them and see if they're in the den. And yes, Gage and I have peed on every inch of this trail, all through my property, my neighbor's property. When we're out and about, we gotta go, we just go. Everyone asks, do you guys mark territory out there? Hey, I guess if that's what you want to call it, Gage and I have this trail pretty well marked. Ugh. In the last video, had a couple people mention the strange rod anomalies. Guys, it was a spider web in front of the camera lens. I couldn't see it on the little screen when we were recording, but it was there for most of the walk the other day. So whenever you see those light reflecting lines and it kind of moves around and flutters around the screen, it was a spider web, guys. Very simple to explain that one. I usually eat spider webs on these trips 90% of the way. If I were to walk the same trail in and out, I would only get it one way, right? I usually hold the camera up in front and it breaks all the spider webs as I'm walking. The ones that we don't get with the camera, I get in the face. We have just left the 90-acre trail, and I'm cutting up here to the fox den, and we're 200-300 yards further south than I normally go. And right behind me here, I kind of see like another teepeed structure. Never noticed this before. Let's take a closer look. Wow, this is pretty intriguing, guys. So we've got one big leaner here that curls up against this tree, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 leaning against that tree like a teepee, and we've got one all by itself. Okay, let's take a closer look here and see if this is natural or what's going on. I find that very hard to believe that we'd have 6 random fall downs and they would all lean against a center tree like that just on their own, but let's take a look. Let's start right here with the one closest to us. So this one is leaning against that tree by itself. It's not part of this 6 teepee structure over here. Let's take a look at the end here. Is there a root system? Is this a stump? Nope. That's just a broken off. This is just a broken off tree. Didn't grow there. This one here in front that's laying on the ground, I can see this looks like an old root system right here. Okay, so that looks like this tree grew here and it fell over. Okay, but that leaner doesn't look like it grew there. Let's take a look at this next one here, the one that's leaning against the tree. Gage was running around over here. That's just laying here as well. There's no stump. That's all broken off. Then we kind of get into the heart of this right here. Let's look at these. Nope, that's just a loose stick as well, stuck in the ground. There's actually smaller ones in here that I didn't even notice as well, like right here. Okay, what about this one? Yeah, again, that's just a loose stick stuck in the ground right there. Over here. So this big one, I'm looking right now. Okay, I thought it came from here, but it didn't. This one that's leaning up here on its own, I think maybe it came from right here. The one that's leaning there, so that one was here. But this one here, it's just loose. It's just sticking in the ground. I can actually pull this up. Look it, guys. That's odd. It's wedged up there, and I can swing this very easily. So that's just sitting there like that, no stump or anything there. It seems odd to me, like, yeah, there's a couple here that were growing here and they were pushed over, fell over, blown over in the wind, whatever. And then there are a bunch that are all leaning against that center tree right there that look like they've been placed here, leaning against the tree. I don't see any stumps where they came from. And this is like the 3rd structure we found like that. So what's going on? You guys tell me. It's not like there was a hunter blind built here. Absolutely not. This is not a hunter blind. It's random, and yet it's not random. I can see this from 100 yards away. I see a teepee structure and I come over and investigate it. It sticks out like a sore thumb. See, this is what he does. He gets a hold of stuff and he moves it, which I didn't film him earlier, but that's exactly what he did over there where I went to show you guys the end of that stick and the mushroom was knocked over. You can thank this guy right here for messing up my investigation. You're not going to be able to take that home, buddy. Mushrooms all over the place here. That's the one Gage knocked over. So much stuff here around here. I don't know what's natural. Like I can see sticks wedged in right there. Couple of sticks wedged in up there. Let's go check it out. I don't know. Almost looks like an X wedged into the middle of that tree there. Everyone keeps telling me to clean out my property. Clean up some of this stuff that's down. Well guys, this isn't my property. I own a small part of this. A large part of this is my neighbor's, the 90-acre trail. And he lets me use it for ATVing, snowmobiling, hiking, walking the dog. And then behind it is all crown land. And the crown land just goes for, 100 miles or whatever. All around us is crown land. So I'm not going to clean up crown land and I'm not going to touch anything on the neighbor's property. My property is pretty clean and that's why we don't change anything, because I don't own it. That one big stone always catches my eye when I'm up here. Glacial dropping. It's funny, there's only one out here in the middle of all this hard bedrock. Or did somebody put it there? I can't see a person carrying it there for no reason. So here we are guys, closing in on the fox den. It's just over the rock ledge here. If you watched my series this spring, we did a whole expose with trail cameras and photography. The mother fox had 6 babies and we spent a couple months up here filming, and all those videos are on the channel. Very cute. National Geographic stuff, guys. You won't get that on every channel for sure. I'll turn the camera around and I'll show you where the den is, and then we're gonna go down and take a look for golf balls. So from where I'm standing here, it's probably a 20-foot drop down over the edge, and right down in the bottom corner here is where the den is. Quite a bit of foliage grown up that wasn't there in the spring. But we'll go down and I'll show you exactly where. Oh, just about lost it there. It's steeper than it looks on camera, that's for sure. So in the spring, I used to stand up there on those rocks with a telephoto lens, a 600mm lens, and shoot down under this overhanging rock. This is the den right here. So here's the den, the opening. And when the kits were just small, 5 weeks old, they would come out and all 6 of them would lay on that rock right there and sun themselves. And the den is down in there underneath that rock. There's a hole in the ground there. And the mother actually laid sticks across here like a playpen, which was very evident in the photos I took. You could see she was keeping them up here in this section on the rock. So animals do move stuff around, and the fox had kind of made like a playpen area here for her kits to play in, and they would just stay against this big rock and right here, and then they would come out in the morning when the sun was up and they would sun themselves right here on this rock. I don't see any sign of golf balls or any sign that the foxes have been here in the last month and a half. They haven't been. They've been out of the den for quite a while. So I've looked all around here. I don't know what she did with them. So we will definitely keep an eye on this den next spring. There's a good possibility that she'll reuse it. She's quite used to me. She's been on my property and Tom's property for 5 years now. And I put out food in front of the trail cameras for her all the time. I help her through the winter. I give her fish skins and things like that. And she was really skinny when she first had the pups here. And so I would bring her a snack every day, a chicken sandwich or something, and she would come and eat it in front of the trail camera. So she's quite used to me, and I don't mind helping her out. There's a backstory to that fox. She actually had mange, and one of the neighbors took her in and gave her medicine, a doctor down the road, not my wife, a different doctor, and he gave her the whatever pill it is, and she actually recovered. We had all thought that she had died. And then we seen her again the next spring, and then the story got out. She'd actually been saved by this guy, which is very awesome because I had been taking pictures of her for quite a while. And the last time I saw her, she didn't have anything but a rat tail. All the fur on her tail, she had chewed it right off from mange. So she's a good survivor story, this one. The last thing I wanted to do today, guys, is to check on our hanging apples, and they're still there. I don't want to go over into that area where we have the cameras set up. I'm staying away from there. We're about 30 yards away, and that's fine. I can still see them hanging there. They've been there about a week, so no takers yet.